Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday.
Good morning, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another Walnut Wednesday episode. Bright and early, but I've shined my lights up really bright so I can see. Hello, how are you? I hope you have your cough or your takeaway cup of your poison of choice and you're ready to slay in your lane today. I'm coming in hot, Walnut, off of it's now the end of the week for me. It's not even necessarily a walnutting, but it was a moment that I felt really like I wanted to come and share with you. That links kind of closely to the episode recently where my car wouldn't start and things were going really bad, and then I just started wasting time and just sitting there and letting time pass. It's kind of like the next section of that where God, why am I waffling so much? Well, no, I'm just going to get into the story time about it because that's what I ultimately wanted to share. I don't know if there's a lesson or a learning from it yet, but I just wanted to share what I did because it was such a different way of reacting than I normally would have. I'm getting lots of these kind of experiences where my reactions are more I suppose responsive than reactive lately, and I feel like that's because of walnut work, so hence why I want to share it, hence why I am talking about it as my walnutting this week. So again, at the beginning of the week, Walnut, that I carpool with Geordie. I believe it was even Monday, to be honest. God, it feels like so long ago. Feels like so long ago, Walnut. Hands up if you're over 30 and time is just going really, really fast. I feel like my parents. Anyways, let's not digress. Good morning, hello, let's have a sip of coffee, let's regroup. Monday morning, and I normally carpool with Geordie, right? And so that has always made me feel a bit weird because it meant that I have to rely on somebody else to get to work or, to get to where I need to go. And I like being dropped off every day. It's actually really nice and it's actually really out of Geordie's way. But yeah, there is that part of me that I don't know, I used to get a lot of my life admin done when I would be driving alone. From my travel job, I'd listen to the podcast or the classes that I needed to replay and stuff. But when you're with somebody else, even though, we're not needing to talk all the time and things, that just makes it a bit different. So I carpool with Geordie on Monday morning. I normally wake up really early, bird o'clock, to do walnut work. And I was farting around doing walnut work in my Oodie, as you see me dressed now. And then I woke Geordie up, sort of like half an hour before we need to be ready to go, sort of thing. And he said, I feel sick, I don't want to go. And we've had this argument before because it completely fucks me over, because if I don't leave at an earlier time than what we'd normally do when he's dropping me off, I can't get a car park, or if I do get a car park, it's a really expensive one, really, really far away. So we've had this before where I've rushed out the door, and that's the day when the car wouldn't start or something like that. I think it was because he was home and not driving me in. Anyway, the details are not that important. What is important is this was a moment where normally I would be fuck, through gritted teeth, fuck you, how dare you do this to me with such short notice. Now I'm rushing, now I'm on the back foot, la 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 la, you can't help it if you're not bloody feeling well, right? Yes, I'm sure he would have given me notice if he could have. So anyway, so I was we're not going to react like a grumpy, angry, crazy person, especially to someone who you've just woken up and has just said they're not feeling well. So I was like, okay, and started like not frantically, but like fast paced, going to get my clothes and trying to get dressed. And Georgie's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I'm not angry. I'm just getting dressed because I need to drive to work and try to like go really urgently to find a car park because I'm late now. Um, in the back of my brain, I'm thinking, oh my God, if I had not farted around and done Walnut work, if I had done this, if I what if, you're thinking all these things and then like, what do I have to do? What can't I forget? That feeling of being in a rush and then you end up taking longer. So I did that and I really diffused the getting angry in myself by trying to like in real time seeing like the logic, like I just sort of explained, like just woke someone up, no point in getting angry, and that will just make someone more angrier. Like how can I diffuse this like bubbling brook of rushing and rage, rushing and rage. um so I ended up you can feel the tension bubbling, right? Like, I'm trying to be really emotional, intelligent here, but it started bubbling. And so I rushed around, and I've done this before where I behaved like a complete like temper tantrum where I like bang and crash everywhere, but I didn't. I was like, okay, I'm actually not angry. Like, let's just see how I actually feel right now. I'm not actually angry. I just want to get a car park. I just want to be able to get there and not have to worry about not being able to get there, sort of thing. So rushing around, poured my cough in my big takeaway cup. um, Geordie will be like smirking if he ever listens to this episode, but I don't put lids on stuff properly, like a lot of the time. And anyway, so I've got my coffee cup. And I obviously didn't put the lid on properly, and I put it on the table, and I'm all ready to go. I've got my bag on, I'm dressed, I've done all this stuff. I'm a boss, and I'm still feeling like the bubbling brook. It's like nearly at my throat, like just like a little bit. There's a lot of emotions. It's really early. I've rushed around, and I picked up my cough, and the lid wasn't on properly, and the whole cough cup, and it like my takeaway cup is like a protein shaker cup. The whole cup lifted up off the table, out of my hands, and all over my white carpet and coffee table. And I was like, what can I do here? And I was like, fuck, like muttering under my breath, saying, fuck, like starting to cry. And then I thought, I'm not, fuck, I am, fuck. So, in that moment, I changed my mind of my little stay quiet and meek and don't wake anyone up because you spilled your coffee and you need to let it out. Just have little baby mouse cries. I was like, no. So I was like, I remember like standing there like, am I going to do this? Yes. And I was like, fuck, like really, really loud. Just a long, short yell of the word fuck. And Geordie ended up coming down and asking me what's wrong because I just started crying. I was like, I'm really overwhelmed. And he's like, I'll clean it up. It's only work, blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's not because of work. I'm not crying because of work. I'm crying because I want to get to work and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so I had this little cry, got a little bit overwhelmed. I still felt really rushed. I'm finally in the car, and I thought, I'm just going to drive in silence and let the time pass while I'm actively, driving. But I then was like, no, I'll pop something a bit positive on. So I put on that Moonlight Scorpio song. It's called Pretty Girl Magic. It's like, I got that pretty girl magic. I wanted, I attracted. This is burning me. And I just played that on repeat almost the whole drive. And then almost at the end, like I could feel my like like I would sing along to some bits and then some bits would like make me cry. Sometimes when you're singing, do you get this, Walnut? Tell me if you do. sometimes when I'm singing a song that hits me in the feels, I like go to sing it, like if I'm just in the car or whatever, and I get like a that lump in my throat and my voice stops and I like get really emotional. It's a very like fleeting split second thing. But anyway, so when I first started listening to the song, I was getting that. And then I would be quiet and then I'd maybe like have a cry and then I'd like continue on and then sing that but again at the next play. And yeah, I chose to actively try to change my mood um through music because lyrics have an impact on me. Sometimes just singing out loud to myself in the car has a big impact on me. I obviously wasn't able to like move my body or anything because I was driving to work, but the actual just act of like expressing with my voice, like singing in the car. I mean, it's dark, no one can see me anyway. I still sing in the car even when it's daylight, but it it really, really helped. It really, really changed my mind about so much stuff. And then this other song came on, but like my phone did the this is a song that you might like. And I'll try and play it and see if it picks up, but it's called New Beginnings by Moonlight Scorpio. I mean, you get the kind of vibe of it. Hopefully you heard it, but it kind of just like hit me in the sacral and it was just like I let go. And it's like, of course, the song comes on right before I'm about to find my park that I was so worried about and walnutted into like this really tight squeeze parallel park because there was a park left. Like I was saying all these things to myself, like, I will find a park. I am safe. Everything is on time. The time I put in is enough. Like I was whispering these little things to myself as I was sort of like rushing around. I was like, I'm okay. Everything is fine, out loud with voice. And then that song came on that was like, I let go. And I was like, whoa, I just felt like this tension kind of come off my shoulders. Then I turned the corner. I found the car park. I parallel parked. I had a day that was not bad at work or at home or anything. I just had a day. It was like at the moment, Walnut, you're probably feeling it too, but like some of the days are just feeling like really hard slogs that you really just have to survive and get home. But on that day, I didn't, despite the what's that word? Despite the opportunity for argument or bitterness or frustration, from just starting the morning that way, I tried to actively, respond by shifting that around and it worked. So how do I recap this, Walnut? Does this episode make sense? Have you had a time like this? If you've had a time like this, Walnut, where you kind of like just turned your mood around, I would love to know because normally I don't think I've actually really experienced it before where I've been like really present and actively doing it in the moment. And being like, okay, actually normally I would get angry, but I'm actually not angry. And then little verbal like I'm okay, spilling the coffee, crying, screaming when I'm angry, short, sharp, angry scream when I feel it in the moment, and then it passed. So again, I expressed that as well when I was like, bah! Singing along to a song on repeat, then magically finding like a new song, and singing along to that as well. All while thinking, I am on time, I'm going to get a car and park, everything is okay, I'm safe, I'm beautiful, I'm brave, I'm all the things. Like chucking this little manifestation affirmations in, really, really changed my day. And that is what I wanted to share with you this week, Walnut. So if you resonate, can you please, let me know, jump into the walnut tree, tell me if you've had a time like this. I'm like not looking at you. I'm trying to think, what the hell am I going to call this episode? Is it even a walnutting? But yes, I think it is. It's just a responding over reacting, perhaps something like that. I'll play this back. I hope it makes sense. But Walnut, I guess it is just a little reminder how the importance of expressing hard feelings. You know, it only takes like a short, sharp second to let it out, because I think maybe that was what my problem was, where I was doing the just quietly cry and be a meek little mouse, instead of all I actually really needed in real life was to stand in my little archway and just go at the top of my lungs. Not Doesn't matter what time in the morning it was or any other external thing apart from me, because I'm in my selfish villain era, and just scream the word fuck for like a little bit longer than normally would say it. You know, like a good like 1.2 second. The importance of that, and like I guess it just comes back to the fact that you are worthy of taking up the space to scream with your voice, to sing a song out loud in the car with your voice, to express yourself. I think we spend a lot of time as peanuts who are actually walnuts, worrying about all the external stuff and crying like a mouse because we don't want to wake anyone up, or, you know, like we don't need to stomp and scream around because it's not feminine or whatever. When actually we just need to just let it out, and it would probably be much better outside of ourselves rather than holding it in and building this bubbling brook of resentment. That's probably why in the past I have behaved like a crazy person when the similar situation has happened, because I haven't expressed myself. I think the moral of the story is to express yourself today, Walnut. So I hope this resonates. I hope this sparks some form of thought in you to Walnut this week. I would love to hear from you. Please jump in the Walnut tree and let me know if you enjoyed this episode or a part of this episode made sense. Take a little screenshot and share, tag me at Walnut Wednesday on our social medias. I would love to hear from you. I love to know what you are enjoying about the podcast and when you're listening, because I know that we are having this conversation now, but I don't see you. So I'd love to see you, Walnut, because you're so beautiful. And on that, you sexy, wonderful Walnut, I will talk to you on the podcast next week. Have a happy Walnut Wednesday. Bye.